Ren's transformation was only beginning. One cold dawn, Master Daisho led him to the highest cliff above the dojo. The sky was gray, the wind sharp enough to cut through armor. Today, Daisho said, you learned the part of the system that no one wants to face. Ren stayed silent, waiting. The master picked up a handful of cold earth. This, he said, is your old life, loose, unformed, easily scattered by the wind. He opened his hand and let the soil fall. But when pressed by pressure, it hardens into something that can build nations. Ren watched as Daisho handed him a small iron weight. You are ready for the fifth forging. And with that, the real trial began. Ren followed Daisho down a stone path until they reached a quiet bamboo grove. There, the air felt different, still, heavy, expectant. Stand, the master said. Ren stood between two tall bamboo stalks swaying gently. Daisho walked behind him and spoke softly. You will be attacked from behind. Not by an enemy, but by your own mind. Ren didn't understand, until it started. Daisho began striking different bamboo poles around him with his staff. Each crack echoed like a lightning bolt. Ren's senses exploded. He flinched. He toned. He jerked at every sound. Again, Daisho said. The master struck another pole. Ren jumped. You see? Daisho asked calmly. This is how most people live. Distracted, reactive, unable to stay centered. Ren clenched his jaw. I'm trying. Trying is weakness, Daisho snapped. Being is strength. Again, the staff cracked. Again, Ren reacted. Daisho circled him like a storm. Pain taught you courage. Stillness taught you discipline. But this... He tapped Ren's shoulder lightly. This teaches you mastery. Daisho struck the bamboo harder. Ren inhaled once. Held. Focused. He didn't turn this time. Good. Daisho murmured. Now again. The strikes came faster. Louder. Closer. Ren kept his breath steady. He anchored his awareness deep inside himself. The same place he had found in the fire pit. One after another, the blows echoed. Crack, crack, crack. But Ren no longer flinched. Daisho set down his staff. You have learned the core of the warrior system. The world screams, but the warrior does not move. Ren bowed. This, Daisho explained, is how a samurai turned pressure into power. You do not escape the chaos. You stand above it. That night, the dojo was silent. Ren sat alone with a candle burning in front of him. He replayed every lesson in his mind. Pain is a forge. Fear is a doorway. Stillness is a sword. Control is a shield. Presence is the armor. Yet something felt unfinished. He looked up when he sensed Daisho entering. You're searching for the final forging, the master said. Ren nodded. Yes, master. I can control pain. I can face fear. I can stay calm under pressure. But what comes after this? Daisho placed a hand on Ren's shoulder. After strength comes purpose. He handed Ren a sealed parchment. This is the last trial. Ren unrolled it. It contained a single sentence. At sunrise, you will walk the path of echoes. Ren's heartbeat quickened. He had heard rumors of the path, where warriors confronted their deepest truth. The next morning, the sky was painted orange with dawn. Ren followed Daisho through a forest trail until they reached a narrow bridge, suspended over a deep ravine. Mist rolled between the cliffs like spirits moving in silence. This path, Daisho said, shows every warrior the memory they fear most. Ren stepped onto the bridge. The wood groaned beneath his feet. Halfway across, the air shifted. The mist thickened into shapes, shadows from his past. He saw himself as a boy, watching his father walk away. He saw himself failing at work, running from responsibility, breaking down alone in silence. He saw his mistakes, one after another, haunting him. Ren fell to his knees. I can't face this, he whispered. Daisho's voice echoed from the far end. That is why you must. Ren closed his eyes, tears burning. This is the weakness that must die, Daisho said. Not your body, not your fear, not your discipline, but the story you keep telling yourself about who you are. Ren shook. The memories screamed. The bridge swayed. Then he remembered Daisho's words from weeks ago. You lasted longer than your fear did. Ren inhaled slowly. Deep. Controlled. One breath. He opened his eyes. I am not who I was, he said. He stood. The shadows tried to surround him, but he walked forward, steady, unbroken, becoming lighter with every step. When he reached the other side, Daisho bowed. You have been forged. Ren lowered his head. What am I now? Daisho answered. You are a warrior. They returned to the dojo at dusk. Ren felt different, more grounded, more alive, more present than ever before. Daisho handed him a katana wrapped in cloth. Open it. Ren unwrapped the blade. It was weathered but strong, balanced, sharp enough to cut the wind. This belonged to the first master of this school, Daisho said. He forged it on the day he overcame the greatest pain of his life. Ren held it with awe. Take it, Daisho continued. But remember, the weapon is not the steel. The weapon is the mind that guides it. Ren nodded. And what now, master? Daisho looked toward the horizon. Now you leave. Ren's eyes widened. What? I thought. You came here to destroy the weakness inside you, Daisho said. You succeeded. Now go teach others how to turn pain into power. Ren bowed deeply, deeper than ever before. I will honor the system, he said. Daisho smiled faintly. You already have. Ren walked down the mountain trail with a katana on his back. The cold wind brushed his face, but he no longer felt weak. He no longer feared pain. He no longer broke under pressure. He understood what Daisho had taught him. Pain is not the enemy. Fear is not the enemy. Weakness is not the enemy. The only true enemy is a version of yourself who refuses to grow. And Ren was no longer that man. He walked into the world as a warrior, someone forged by fire, guided by truth, strengthened by discipline, and unstoppable under pressure. The warrior system had done its work. He was proof. Pain can break you, or pain can build you, but only you decide which one it becomes. Have you ever wondered why some people break under pressure, while others turn the same pain into something powerful? The ancient samurai believed pain was not an obstacle. It was a forging fire, a place where ordinary men either collapsed or were transformed into something unstoppable. This is a story of a young warrior named Ren, and the brutal system his master used to destroy weakness from the inside out and turn him into someone unbreakable. The broken student. Ren arrived at the mountain dojo on a cold morning. He carried shame in his posture and failure in his eyes. He bowed before Master Daisho, a man known as the Iron Mirror, because he reflected the truth no student wanted to face. Why have you come? The master asked without emotion. Ren hesitated. My life is falling apart. I feel weak. I feel lost. I want discipline, strength, control. Master Daisho turned away. Then you want pain, he said, because strength is only found inside what you fear. He pointed toward a wooden gate behind the dojo. At sunrise tomorrow, your training begins. The first trial, facing the self. Ren awoke to the sound of a wooden bell. It was still dark. Master Daisho stood waiting in the courtyard. Sit, he commanded. Ren obeyed. What do you feel right now? Daisho asked. Cold, tired, anxious. The master shook his head. You're feeling your mind, not the world. Weakness begins when you obey every emotion you have. Then he gave Ren his first lesson. The rule of the stillness cut. If you cannot control your thoughts will control your life. Ren sat in silence as a freezing wind burned his skin. Every few seconds, his mind screamed to stop, but the master watched him, like a hawk watching prey. When Ren finally stood up, his legs trembling, Daisho said only one thing. You lasted longer than your fear did. That was the first spark of strength. The second trial, the burden walk. The next morning, Ren found a heavy wooden beam lying across the training ground. Master Daisho told him, lift it. Ren strained, pulled, groaned, but the beam didn't move. I can't. The master slammed his staff on the ground. "That word is poison," he said. "You speak weakness into existence." Then he taught Ren the second rule, the rule of controlled suffering. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is a teacher that reveals who you are. Together, they lifted the beam onto Ren's shoulders. "Walk," Daisho commanded. Ren stumbled across the courtyard, legs shaking under the impossible weight. Halfway through, he collapsed, but Daisho didn't help him up. Instead, he said quietly, "Your life became heavy because you kept dropping what mattered. Carry this, and you will remember the strength you forgot." Ren stood again. Step by step, he moved, not because his body was strong, but because something inside him refused to stay weak. When he reached the end of the courtyard, Daisho nodded once. "That is power." The third trial, the fire pit. The final test came on the fifth morning. A circle of burning coals glowed in the training yard. Ren looked terrified. Master Daisho pointed to the center. "Stand inside the circle." Ren swallowed hard. "What is this for?" Daisho answered, "To face the memory you fear most." Ren stepped into the heat. The air shimmered around him. The burning ground felt like chaos under his feet. "Now," Daisho said, "speak the truth you've been hiding." Ren closed his eyes. "I'm afraid I'll never be enough." The wind cut the silence. Daisho walked to the edge of the fire pit. "And now you understand the root of all weakness." He pointed directly at Ren's chest. "You cannot destroy weakness out here until you destroy the weakness inside here." Ren's breathing slowed. For the first time in his life, he didn't run from the pain. He let it burn away the fear. When he finally stepped out of the circle, Master Daisho gave him a small, rare smile. "You are ready for the final lesson." The warrior system. That evening, the master revealed the ancient system, handed down through generations of samurai. The four forgings of power. 1. The mind forging. Control your focus, control your life. No excuses. No emotional obedience. 2. The body forging. Carry weight daily. Burdens. Discipline. Responsibility. The body teaches what the mind avoids. 3. The spirit forging. Face the fear you buried deepest. Every man hides one. Only the brave confront it. 4. The path forging. Choose a direction and walk it, whether you feel strong or empty. Discipline is faith in action. Daisho handed Ren a wooden sword. Strength is not something you find. He said, it is something you forge, day by day, trial by trial, choice by choice. Ren bowed deeply. For the first time, he felt like a warrior. The transformation. Months passed. Ren's posture changed. His eyes sharpened. His breath steadied. He carried himself like a man who had met his weakness and defeated it. One morning, as Ren trained under the rising sun, Master Daisho approached him. "You came here broken," he said. "Yes, Master." "And what are you now?" Ren looked at his hands, at his stance, at the strength he had built in silence. "I am still becoming," he said. Daisho nodded. "That is the answer of a true warrior." Because the samurai believed, weakness doesn't disappear. It is destroyed, with work, with pain, with discipline, with truth. And the man willing to face that becomes unstoppable.